The snow fell hard that night in Chicago. Big, wet flakes stuck to everything they touched. Marcus Webb sat in the back of his black car, watching the city pass by through tinted windows. His driver moved slowly through the empty streets. It was past midnight, and most people were home where it was warm. Marcus rubbed his tired eyes. The board meeting had gone on for hours. They talked about money, about profits, about the next quarter's numbers. The same boring talk he heard every week. He was rich beyond measure, but tonight he felt empty inside. "Sir, there's someone at the bus stop ahead," his driver said. "Should I go around?" Marcus looked up. Through the falling snow, he could see a figure sitting on the metal bench. The person was hunched over, arms wrapped tight around their body. No coat, no umbrella. "Just sitting there in the storm?" "Stop the car," Marcus said. "Sir, stop the car." "Right here." The driver pulled over. Marcus could see the person better now. It was a woman, maybe in her 30s. She had dark skin and short hair. A small bag sat next to her on the bench. She was shaking from the cold. Marcus rolled down his window. "Miss, are you okay?" The woman looked up. Her eyes were tired, but sharp, alert. She studied Marcus for a moment before answering. "I'm fine, thank you," she said. Her voice was steady, despite the cold. "The buses stopped running an hour ago," Marcus said. "There won't be another one until morning." "I know." She pulled her thin jacket tighter. "I'll figure something out." Marcus looked at her bag. It was old leather, worn from use. Medical supplies peeked out from the top. A stethoscope hung from one corner. "You're a nurse?" he asked. "Caregiver," Nina Carter replied. She didn't know why she was talking to this stranger in his fancy car, but something about his voice seemed genuine. "I take care of elderly folks who can't get around much anymore. This late at night?" Nina nodded. "Mrs. Patterson had a bad fall today. Broke her hip. I stayed with her until her daughter could drive in from the suburbs. Missed my last bus home." Marcus studied her face. There was something in the way she sat, the way she held herself. Military training, he thought. This woman had seen action. "Were you in the service?" he asked. Nina's eyes narrowed slightly. "Army medic. 2 tours overseas. Why?" "Just curious." Marcus made a decision that would change both their lives. "Look, I can't leave you out here in this storm. Let me give you a ride home." "That's kind of you, but I don't take rides from strangers." "My name is Marcus Webb." Nina's expression changed. Everyone knew that name. Marcus Webb, the tech billionaire. The man who built computers that could think, ships that could fly themselves, and machines that could heal the human body. "The Marcus Webb?" she asked. "Just Marcus," he said with a small smile. "And you are?" "Nina Carter." "Well, Nina Carter. My offer stands, no strings attached. Just a warm car and a ride to wherever you need to go." Nina looked at the falling snow. Her apartment was 15 miles away. Walking would take hours if she didn't freeze first. She looked back at Marcus. His eyes seemed honest enough. "Okay," she said finally. "Thank you." She grabbed her bag and climbed into the car. The heat hit her immediately, and she couldn't help but sigh with relief. "Where to?" The driver asked. Nina gave him her address, then settled back into the soft leather seat. She expected Marcus to ignore her now, maybe make a phone call or check his messages. Rich people usually didn't talk to folks like her. Instead, he asked, "What made you become a caregiver?" Nina looked at him, surprised by the question. "Same reason I became a medic, I guess. People need help. I'm good at helping them." Marcus nodded slowly. "That's a rare thing these days." "What is?" "Caring about strangers." They rode in comfortable silence for a few minutes. Nina watched the city pass by. Clean streets, expensive buildings, everything Marcus's world provided. "Can I ask you something?" Marcus said suddenly. "Sure." "If someone told you there were people out there who needed help, people you'd never met, people very far away, would you help them?" Nina looked at him strangely. "What kind of question is that?" "Just curious about your answer." Nina thought for a moment. "If they really needed help, and I could actually do something useful, then yes, I suppose I would." Marcus smiled. It was the first real smile he'd felt in months. "That's exactly what I hoped you'd say." The next morning, Nina woke up to her phone ringing. She looked at the clock, 7 in the morning. Who would call this early? Hello, she answered, still sleepy. Nina Carter? This is Marcus Webb. We met last night. Nina sat up in bed. She thought, maybe she had dreamed the whole thing. Rich billionaires didn't usually give random people rides home. Oh, hi, she said. Thank you again for the ride. Actually, I was hoping we could meet again today. There's something I want to show you. Nina frowned. What kind of something? It's hard to explain over the phone. Would you be willing to come to my office? I'll send a car for you. Nina looked around her small apartment. She had the day off from work. Mrs. Patterson was in the hospital, and her other clients didn't need her until tomorrow. Why me? Nina asked. We just met, because of what you said last night, about helping people far away. Nina remembered that strange question. What does that have to do with anything? Everything, Marcus said. Will you come? I promise it will be worth your time. Something in his voice made Nina curious. Okay, but just for an hour. 2 hours later, Nina stood outside the biggest building she had ever seen. The sign read, Webb Industries. The car that picked her up was even nicer than the one from last night. The driver treated her like she was important. Marcus met her in the lobby. He looked different in the daylight. Younger somehow. More excited. Thank you for coming, he said. Follow me. They took an elevator down. Not up to the fancy offices, but down into the basement. The elevator went down for a long time. Nina counted the floors, 20 levels underground. Where are we going? She asked. To see something that will change how you think about everything. The elevator doors opened. Nina stepped out and gasped. The room was huge, bigger than a football field. In the center sat something that looked like a spaceship, but not like the space shuttles she had seen on TV. This one was sleek and silver, with strange blue lights running along its sides. What is that? Nina whispered. The future, Marcus said. Her name is Compass. People in white coats walked around the ship. They carried tools and computers. Everyone looked busy and excited. This is impossible, Nina said. We don't have technology. Like this, we do now. Marcus walked toward the ship. Nina followed, her mouth still open. 3 years ago, we started receiving signals from space. Not random noise, real messages. Messages from who? We don't know exactly, but someone out there is asking for help. Marcus led her to a wall covered with screens. Numbers and charts filled every display. In the center, one screen showed a pattern of lights that blinked on and off. This is the signal, Marcus explained. It repeats every 6 hours. We've been studying it for months. It's definitely a call for help. Nina stared at the blinking lights. How do you know? Because our computers finally translated part of it. The message says, help us in 17 different ways. Mathematical formulas, pictures, even music. Someone is desperate. A woman in a lab coat walked over to them. She was older, with gray hair and kind eyes. Nina, this is Dr. Alex Turner. Marcus said, she's our lead scientist. The signals are coming from the Andromeda Galaxy, Dr. Turner explained. That's 2.5 million light years away. Nina's head was spinning. That's impossible to reach. Not anymore, Marcus said. We've developed a new type of engine. It can fold space, make the journey in months instead of millions of years. Nina looked back at the spaceship. You're really going out there? We are, Marcus said, and I want you to come with us. Nina laughed. She couldn't help it. Me? I'm a caregiver. I take care of old people. I don't know anything about space. You know about helping people, Marcus said. You know about medicine, and you were a soldier. That makes you perfect for this mission. This is crazy, Nina said. Even if that ship works, even if you can get to wherever these signals are coming from, what makes you think you can help? You don't even know what's wrong, Dr. Turner smiled. That's exactly why we need someone like you. Someone who can think fast, solve problems, and keep people alive when everything goes wrong. Marcus stepped closer to Nina. The government won't help. They say it's too risky, too expensive. but I have enough money to fund this mission myself. The question is, do we have enough courage? Nina stared at the spaceship. Part of her thought, this was the craziest thing she had ever heard. But another part of her, the part that had joined the army to help people, the part that became a medic to save lives, was interested. How many people would go? She asked. 50, Marcus said. The best and brightest humans we can find. Scientists, doctors, engineers, pilots, people who want to help. And you think whoever sent those signals really needs help? I think they're dying, Dr. Turner said quietly. The signals are getting weaker every month. If we're going to help them, we need to go soon. Nina walked closer to the ship. She could see people working inside through the windows. They all looked excited, like they were part of something important. What would I do? Nina asked. Lead the medical team, Marcus said. Keep our people healthy during the journey. And when we get there, help us figure out how to save whoever is calling for help. Nina took a deep breath. This was insane. But maybe that was exactly what the universe needed right now. A little human insanity. When do we leave? She asked. Marcus smiled. 3 months. Nina spent the next week thinking about Marcus's offer. She visited her regular clients, helped them with their medicine, cooked their meals, and listened to their stories. But her mind kept going back to that silver ship and the blinking lights. On the screen, on Friday, she called Marcus. I'm in, she said simply. That's wonderful, Marcus replied. Can you come in on Monday? We need to start building our team. Nina quit her job the next day. Her boss thought she was crazy, but Nina didn't care. She had enough savings to last a few months, and something told her this was the most important thing she would ever do. Monday morning, Nina found herself back in the underground facility. This time, Marcus introduced her to more people. The team was growing every day. This is Captain Ben Rodriguez, Marcus said, pointing to a man in his 40s with short black hair. He'll be our pilot. Ben shook Nina's hand firmly. Air Force for 20 years, he said. Flew everything from fighters to cargo planes. This will be my first spaceship, though. Nina liked him immediately. He had the same steady confidence she remembered from her army days. And this is Dr. Rachel Kim, Marcus continued. She's our engineer. Rachel was young, maybe 25, with bright eyes and paint-stained fingers. I designed the new engine, she said proudly. It's based on math that didn't exist 5 years ago. Over the next few days, Nina met the rest of the crew. There was Carlos Mendez, a geologist who studied rocks from other planets. Maria Santos, a communications expert who could speak 12 languages. Jake Wilson, a botanist who grew food in impossible places. Every person was the best at what they did, but Marcus was having trouble with one important position. We need a military advisor, he told Nina one afternoon. Someone who knows about strategy and combat. Combat? Nina asked. I thought this was a rescue mission. It is, Marcus said. But we don't know what we'll find out there. We need someone who can keep us safe. Nina thought for a moment. I might know someone. That evening, Nina called her old army friend Lisa Brooks. Lisa was now a major in the Space Force, training astronauts for moon missions. Nina, is that really you? Lisa's voice sounded surprised and happy. Hey Lisa, I need to ask you something crazy. Crazier than the time you fixed that helicopter with a paperclip and some tape? Nina laughed. Much crazier. She told Lisa about the mission, about the signals from space and the ship and Marcus's plan to help whoever was calling. Lisa listened without interrupting. So, you want me to quit the military and fly off to another galaxy with a billionaire and his homemade spaceship? Lisa asked when Nina finished. Pretty much, yeah. Lisa was quiet for a long time. When do we leave? 2 weeks later, Lisa joined the team. She brought military discipline and planning skills that the group desperately needed. She also brought bad news. The government knows about your project, Lisa told Marcus during a team meeting. They're not happy. What kind of not happy? Marcus asked. The kind where they might try to shut you down, Lisa said. They think you're wasting resources that could be used on Earth, Dr. Turner looked worried. Can they stop us? Not legally, Marcus said. This is all private funding on private property. But they can make things difficult. Nina stood up. Then we work faster. For the next month, the team worked 18 hours a day. They tested every system on the ship twice. They practiced emergency procedures until they could do them in their sleep. They studied everything scientists knew about space. Travel and alien contact. Admiral Kate Morrison visited the facility one day. She was the head of Earth's Defense Force, a tall woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. This is either the bravest thing I've ever seen or the most foolish, she told Marcus. Maybe both, Marcus replied. The Admiral walked around the ship, asking technical questions that Dr. Turner answered carefully. She watched the crew work together, solving problems and helping each other. You really think you can help whoever is sending those signals? Admiral Morrison asked Nina. I think we have to try, Nina said. What if it was us calling for help? Wouldn't we want someone to answer? Admiral Morrison nodded slowly. What do you need from me? Protection, Marcus said. Make sure no one tries to stop us from launching. And when you get back? The Admiral asked. If we get back, Marcus corrected, we'll share everything we learn, technology, science, whatever we find out there. The Admiral shook hands with Marcus. You have my word and my respect. As launch day approached, Nina felt nervous and excited at the same time. She had never been to space before. None of them had traveled farther than the moon. But they were about to journey to another galaxy. Are you scared? Dr. Turner asked Nina one evening as they watched the final preparations. Terrified, Nina admitted, but also proud. We're doing something no human has ever done before. We're doing something no species has ever done before, Dr. Turner corrected. Flying across the universe to help strangers. Nina looked at the ship that would take them to the stars. In 3 days, they would leave Earth behind and venture into the unknown. All because someone, somewhere, had asked for help, and humans, being humans, couldn't ignore that call. Launch day arrived on a cold Tuesday morning. Nina stood in the ship's medical bay, checking her supplies one last time. Bandages, medicines, surgical tools, everything she might need to keep 50 people alive during the longest journey in human history. All crew members, please report to your stations. Captain Rodriguez's voice came over the speakers. Launch in 30 minutes. Nina's hands shook slightly as she secured the last medical kit. She had jumped out of helicopters under enemy fire, but this felt more frightening. They were about to leave Earth behind and fly into the unknown. Marcus appeared in the doorway. How are you feeling? Like I might throw up? Nina said honestly. Marcus smiled. That makes two of us. Dr. Turner says the engine will feel strange when it starts, like the whole ship is being stretched. Nina nodded and followed Marcus to the main deck. Through the large windows, she could see the underground launch chamber. Dozens of people in white coats watched from behind thick glass walls. Admiral Morrison stood among them, giving the crew a thumbs up. Everyone ready? Captain Rodriguez asked from the pilot's seat. 50 voices answered, ready at the same time. Then let's make history, Rodriguez said. He pressed a series of buttons, and the ship hummed to life. Nina felt the floor vibrate under her feet. The humming grew louder, then suddenly everything went quiet. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ship lurched forward, and Nina felt like someone was pulling her in 6 different directions at once. The stars outside the windows began to stretch into long lines of light. Earth disappeared behind them in seconds. Full drive active. Dr. Kim announced, "We are now traveling faster than light." Nina looked around at her teammates. Some looked excited, others looked sick. Jake Wilson was definitely going to need her help soon. How long until we reach the Andromeda Galaxy? Maria Santos asked. 4 months, Dr. Turner replied, if everything goes perfectly. But things didn't go perfectly. 3 weeks into the journey, the ship's water recycling system broke down. Nina found herself working with Dr. Kim to fix pipes and filters while the crew carefully rationed their water supply. I thought space travel would be more exciting, Nina said, lying on her back under a broken pump with a wrench in her hand. Most of it is fixing things that break, Dr. Kim replied. Turn that valve to the left. After 6 weeks, Jake Wilson developed a fever that wouldn't go away. Nina spent days running tests, trying different medicines, while Jake got sicker and sicker. I don't understand it, Nina told Marcus. All his tests are normal, but his body is fighting something. Dr. Turner had an idea. Maybe it's the fold drive. Maybe traveling faster than light affects the human body in ways we don't understand. Nina gave Jake a new medicine that helped with radiation sickness. Within 2 days, his fever broke. We need to monitor everyone for similar symptoms, Nina told the crew during their weekly meeting. Space is trying to kill us in ways we never expected. The hardest part wasn't the broken equipment or the medical problems. The hardest part was being so far from home. Earth was millions of light years behind them. If something went wrong, no one could help them. Some crew members started having nightmares. Others stopped eating properly. Nina found herself spending as much time helping with mental health as physical health. I keep dreaming about my grandmother's kitchen, Carlos Mendez told her one day. I can smell her cooking, hear her voice. Then I wake up and remember I'll never see her again. You will see her again, Nina said firmly. We're coming back. How can you be so sure? Nina didn't have a good answer for that. But she had to believe it because the alternative was too frightening to consider. The signals from Andromeda grew stronger every week. Dr. Turner translated more of the message. It wasn't just a call for help anymore. It was multiple voices calling from different places. An entire civilization was in trouble. There are millions of them, Dr. Turner told the crew during month 3. They're all asking for the same thing. Someone to help them fight something they call the void. What's the void? Lisa Brooks asked. We don't know yet. But whatever it is, they're losing the fight. Nina stared out the window at the strange stars of the Andromeda galaxy growing. Larger ahead of them, somewhere in that spiral of light, people were dying. People who had sent messages across impossible distances, hoping someone would care enough to help. 1 month until we arrive, Captain Rodriguez announced. Everyone start preparing for whatever we're going to find. Nina checked her medical supplies again. She had everything she needed to treat human injuries and illnesses, but she had no idea what alien medicine looked like. She hoped she would figure it out when the time came. Are you ready for this? Marcus asked her one evening as they watched the Andromeda galaxy fill the view screen. No, Nina said. But that's never stopped me before, Marcus nodded. That's what I was hoping you'd say. The ship flew on through the darkness, carrying 50 humans toward their date with destiny. The compass dropped out of full drive near a dying star. Nina pressed her face against the window and gasped. The star was wrong. Instead of bright yellow or white, it flickered between colors like a broken light bulb. Purple, green, red, then black for long moments before lighting up again. What happened to it? She whispered. Dr. Turner studied her instruments with a worried expression. It's being drained. Something is pulling the energy right out of it. Captain Rodriguez piloted the ship toward a planet that orbited the sixth star. As they got closer, Nina could see that the planet was beautiful. Blue oceans, white clouds, green continents. It looked almost like Earth. I'm reading life signs, Maria Santos reported from her communication station. Lots of them. And they're trying to talk to us. Strange music filled the ship's speakers. It sounded like whale songs mixed with wind chimes. Beautiful, but sad. Can you translate it? Marcus asked. Maria worked at her computer for several minutes. They're saying welcome. They're happy we came, and they're asking if we're here to help. Tell them yes, Marcus said immediately. More music came through the speakers. This time it sounded relieved, almost like crying. They want to meet us, Maria translated. But they're warning us about something. They keep saying stay away from the dark places. Captain Rodriguez found a safe place to land near what looked like a city. But as they got closer, Nina realized it wasn't like any city she had ever seen. The buildings were made of crystal and light, growing up from the ground like trees. Beautiful bridges connected them high in the air. It's incredible, Dr. Turner breathed. The landing was smooth. Captain Rodriguez lowered the ship's ramp, and Nina felt alien air touch her face for the first time. It smelled like flowers and rain. A group of beings waited for them outside. Nina's first thought was that they looked like angels. They were tall and thin, with pale blue skin that seemed to glow softly. Instead of hair, they had flowing tendrils of light that moved like they were underwater. Their eyes were large and silver, filled with intelligence and kindness. One of them stepped forward and spoke. The words were music, but somehow Nina understood them. Welcome, travelers from far away. I am Zara of the Etherian people. We have waited so long for someone to answer our call. Marcus stepped forward. I'm Marcus Webb. The Etherian people have waited so long for someone to answer our call. Marcus stepped forward. I'm Marcus Webb. The Etherian people have waited so long for someone to answer our call. Marcus stepped forward. I'm Marcus Webb. The Etherian people have waited so long for someone to answer our call. Marcus stepped forward. I'm Marcus Webb. These are my friends. We came because you asked for help. Zara's tendrils of light brightened. You crossed the great darkness just to help us? Strangers you have never met? That's what humans do, Nina said simply. Zara looked at Nina with wonder. Humans. We will remember that name forever. The Ethereans led them into the Crystal City. Nina marveled at everything she saw. The buildings seemed alive, growing and changing as they watched. Gardens floated in the air without any support. Children played games with balls of pure light, but she also noticed things that were wrong. Some buildings were dark and empty. Cracks ran through others like scars. And everywhere the Ethereans looked tired and afraid. How long have you been fighting the void? Dr. Turner asked as they walked. 300 of your years, Zara replied sadly. It came from the space between galaxies, a hunger that eats everything, light, matter, life itself. We have lost 12 worlds already. They reached the center of the city, where a great crystal tower rose toward the sky. Inside, hundreds of Ethereans worked at devices Nina didn't understand. Charts and pictures covered the walls, showing the spread of something dark across their galaxy. This is the void, Zara explained, pointing to a black area on one of the maps. It grows larger every day. Soon it will reach our home world. Nina studied the map. The dark area was huge, covering what looked like thousands of star systems. What exactly is it? We are not sure, another Etherean named Keth answered. It seems to be alive, but not like any life we know. It eats reality itself, leaving nothing behind. Marcus looked grim. How do you fight something like that? We have tried everything, Zara said. Weapons of light, barriers of energy, even moving entire planets. Nothing works. The void consumes it all. Dr. Turner was studying the Ethereum technology with fascination. Your science is incredibly advanced. If you can't stop it, how can we help? Keth's light tendrils dimmed with sadness. We don't know, but we had to try. We sent our call to every corner of the universe, hoping someone would come. Most species ignored us. Others said it was impossible to help. Only you humans answered. Nina felt a chill run down her spine. Are you saying other species received your message? Oh, yes, Zara replied. The Caltharians have ships faster than ours. The Nexus Empire has weapons that could destroy stars. The synthetics have minds that can solve any problem. We called to them all, and none of them came, Lisa Brooks asked. The Caltharians said it was not their problem. The Nexus Empire wanted payment we couldn't afford. The synthetics calculated that helping us was inefficient. Marcus felt anger building in his chest. So they just left you to die? They made the logical choice, Keth said without bitterness. Why risk their own people for strangers? Why waste resources on a hopeless fight? Nina looked around at the tired, frightened Ethereans. She thought about the beautiful crystal city and the children playing with light. She thought about the dying star outside and the spreading darkness on the maps. Show us the void, she said suddenly. Zara looked surprised. It is dangerous to go near it. We didn't come all this way to play it safe, Nina replied. If we're going to help you, we need to understand what we're fighting. Marcus nodded. She's right. Take us to see this void. Zara and Keth exchanged glances. Finally, Zara nodded. Very well. But you must understand, Some who look upon the void too long are changed by it, changed in ways that cannot be healed. We understand, Marcus said, but we need to see what we're up against. As they prepared to leave the Crystal City, Nina felt both fear and determination. The other species in the galaxy had abandoned the Etherians because helping seemed impossible. But humans had never been very good at accepting the impossible. They were about to find out if human stubbornness was enough to fight a force that consumed reality itself.